And these are images that many Toyota employees, both in the racing side and the production side, would have been very excited to see. There's Roman Rusanov winning at Le Mans with G-Drive. Jean-Eric Verne and Andrea Pizzatola in the car with him. And that is the photograph that Toyota have waited more than 2 decades to see. Victory at Le Mans, and to make it even sweeter, the 2 cars they entered both finished, and finished 1-2. In fact, the final lap of the race saw the 2 cars set fastest sector times of the race of any car in sector 2 and 3, with Gustavo Menezes in 3rd place, setting the fastest first sector of the entire race of any car in his Rebellion. So the Rebellion LMP1 cars looking very strong indeed as we head into the remainder of Super Season. And they will be, you would think, in the 6-hour sprints, regular thorn in Toyota's side. Well, we'll stay with the celebrations and the podiums. A chance to see our winning teams in the other classes as the pre-podium room starts to fill up. It's back to us, Pierre Fillon. A few photographs there for Gerard Neveu, boss of the World Endurance Championship, and everybody waiting for these guys. History made by Toyota. And we'll wait to see the looks on their faces when they stand on that podium on the top step and look down at the rest of the world looking up at them. It's a feeling that they have hoped that they will feel for many times. There's the Rebellion drivers. Number 3 car finishing in 3rd place. The youngest crews, Thomas Laurent, Matthias Besch and Gustavo Menezes. A really solid run by Rebellion Racing, returning to the LMP1 fold and holding on the podium ceremonies for another few minutes to allow tens of thousands of fans to join those already packing the pit lane and the pit straight. I've never been on TV before. Aha. Never seen yourself on TV before. Well, thank you to everybody, wherever you are, for joining us for the coverage of the 86 Le Mans 24 Hours. If it's the first time that you've ever watched Le Mans, we do this on quite a regular basis. Not maybe quite as long, but the FIA World Endurance Championship 6-hour races. Our next outing will be at Silverstone in 6 weeks' time. And all the regular teams will be back in action. By that stage, hopefully, Toyota's headaches will have worn off. And here come the crowds. They open the gates. And this used to be a sort of unofficial track invasion. And I think Le Mans realised, the ACO realised, that the pictures looked so good from the podium with tens of thousands of fans below that it's become a sort of not unofficial track invasion. No need now to swarm over the fences and ignore the marshals. Now the gates are opened and everybody gets to enjoy the moment. Well, Toyota 1-2, if you're in the 2nd place car, like Kamui Kobayashi there in the background, little bittersweet perhaps. They have tried so often as a team, and pretty much anybody who's driven for Toyota has been close. Alan McNish himself close for Toyota in a car that could have, perhaps should have. But his wins came with Porsche and with Audi. So for Mike Conway, Kamui Kobayashi and Jose Maria Lopez, their attention turns to the rest of the Super Season, starting with Silverstone, then heading on through Shanghai and Fuji, before going next year into Sebring and Spa, and then back to Le Mans to round it all out. And their real focus for the next 364 days will be to feel what it's like on the top step. There's Mike in the background, Pachito, Kaz Nakajima, just offering his congratulations, stroke commiserations, stroke, yeah. Well, thank you for being with us. And on behalf of everybody here at Le Mans, the FIA World Endurance and ACO television crew, thank you to Louise Beckett and Duncan Vincent for exemplary and entertaining coverage from the pit lane. Thank you to Toby Moody and Julian Porter. Thank you too to Alan McNish, Karun Chunduk and Peter Dumbrag. Most of all, thank you to all the TV crew in the trucks and out on the circuit who have provided again such spectacular pictures of what at times was basically just an explosion of fast-moving machinery. The LMP1 classification shows 5 cars made it to the finish, with Toyota 1-2, Rebellion 3-4, and points for 5th place for TSRM and their Ginetta chassis. And there, the Toyota teams embrace each other as the top 2 mingle and get ready to head out on the podium. I remember years ago watching a film made by Peugeot when they had been beaten by Audi. They all gathered together early in the spring and they watched Audi's film about winning at Le Mans. Success in 24. And they watched it pretty much without comment all the way through. Once the video got to the end, they all kind of went, yeah, that looks like it's a lot more fun than not winning. That kind of inspired them again to try even harder. In the white shirt there, on the right-hand side of your picture, Le Mans legend Jackie Ickx. Until Tom Christensen came along, most successful winner at this race with 6 victories. And Tom here this weekend, as so often he has been. Fans just streaming down the hill. This is one of the biggest sporting occasions in Europe, if not perhaps the world. Around 250,000 fans packed into the Circuit de la Sarthe. And now our podiums begin with the LMP1 podium. Thomas Laurent, Matthias Besch and Gustavo Menezes step out onto the podium. 3rd place in LMP1, with their replica trophies in front of them. Rebellion in 3rd. In 2nd place, Jose Maria Lopez, Mike Conway, and Kamui Kobayashi. 2nd place at Le Mans in a Toyota 1-2. And our winners, the 2018 Le Mans 24 Hours, the 86th running of the world's greatest endurance motor race, will step out into the afternoon sunshine at the Circuit de la Sarthe onto one of the most famous podiums on the planet. The man who took the checkered flag, Kazuki Nakajima, teammates Sebastian Buemi and Fernando Alonso, the winners of the 2018 Le Mans 24 Hours. A team that so many times has hoped and perhaps sometimes barely dared to believe, that has suffered heartbreak, crushing disappointment, and now finally long-awaited triumph. Japanese anthem sounds out for the second time in Le Mans history. In 1989, Mazda won the 24 Hours of Le Mans. In 2018, it is Toyota. The trophies being presented by the president of the ACO, Pierre Fillon. The Automobile Club de l'Ouest has organised the Le Mans 24 Hours at this circuit since 1923. Our drivers are close to tears, I think, and understandably so. Petrolhead and actor Michael Fassbender presents the trophies to our runners-up. And for Toyota, it's doubly sweet that it's not just a single car that makes it, it is a 1-2. With the beard there, Hisataki Murata, Toyota Motorsport president, to receive the trophies. Grand Marshal Jack Ickx, a 6-time winner of the Le Mans 24 Hours, will congratulate our winners and our second place team, I'm sure, and then present the trophy. A moment of huge emotion for everybody who's been involved with the Toyota program for decades. Look at the crowd. A beautiful sunny day in June here in the heart of France. Philippe Schaefer, the CEO of Rolex France, presenting the winners' watches. There's not many racing drivers that aren't a bit of a watch fan. And for Fernando Alonso, for Sebastian Buemi, and for Kaz Nakajima, whatever other watches they have, those particular three are going to be very, very special indeed. And there is the winner's trophy. The names of the previous winners engraved on it. Some of the greatest names in world motorsport have come here and won the Le Mans 24 Hours. And now these three men will also have their names engraved. So the Prefecture of the Sarthe, that's the Département of France in which we are, part of the Pays de Loire. Well, that went fairly quickly. There is the permanent trophy. One of the most recognisable, the Borg-Warner Trophy that's presented to the winners of the Indy 500. And the trophy for the winners of the Le Mans 24 Hours, perhaps the most recognisable too in motorsport. And for Fernando Alonso, he's won the Monaco Grand Prix, he's won the Formula One World Championship, he's now won Le Mans. He will continue, I'm sure, to try and win Le Mans again, and also his adventure at Indianapolis. The smell of victory at Le Mans. The late Dan Gurney was the first man to decide that instead of keeping it and drinking it later, spraying champagne over the dignitaries and your colleagues and your rivals was a bit of fun. And ever since, it has become a mandatory way to celebrate motor racing success. And what you're seeing here, not just on the podium, but actually at the circuit, is very much still the tip of the iceberg in terms of design, build, and support for these two cars. The 6 drivers are charged with completing the job, but without the enormous team behind them, and they would be the first to admit it, there is no chance that 3 men can triumph in anything, never mind the 24 Hours of Le Mans. Well, finally, the gods smiled on Toyota. Le Mans resident and former winner Sébastien Bourdais put it very well this week. He said, sometimes Le Mans chooses you. And this year, finally, Le Mans chose Toyota. Well, Bruno van der Steeg, the speaker here at Le Mans, going to have a quick word with our 3 drivers. Kaz Nakajima finding at least some words to try and explain the emotion. Victory here, and the points that go with it. 38 for victory, move Fernando Alonso, Kazuki Nakajima and Sébastien Buemi into the lead of the World Endurance Championship ahead of their teammates Jose Maria Lopez, Kamui Kobayashi and Mike Conway. Gustavo Menezes, Matthias Besch and Thomas Laurent lie in 3rd place in the drivers' standings. And we will continue with the World Endurance Super Season after this brief selfie. And if he ever takes a more emotional selfie, Sébastien Buemi, I will be surprised. Buemi came so close to winning the World Championship with Toyota last year, came so close to winning the Formula E Championship as well. That disappointment can easily be balanced by the emotion here of winning Le Mans for Toyota. Well, this is one of those moments where the drivers really don't quite know what to do with themselves next. Getting an actual photographer to take an actual photograph is never a bad idea. Sébastien Buemi from French-speaking canton of Switzerland, able to tell the French crowd exactly how it feels, or at least an approximation of how it might feel. And Fernando Alonso, I don't particularly think he'll be able to sum up his emotions sufficiently either. Now, he's had a little bit less invested in this history than his teammates, but nonetheless, in this race,
Toyota has been amazing in terms of preparation, En français, il va être un peu plus difficile, mais merci à tous les supporters. C'était une semaine très spéciale pour moi et pour tous les coureurs. Merci à Toyota pour l'esprit et pour toute la dédication que nous avons fait, la préparation pour ces courses. Et nous avons ici
thanking the fans, and look at the face, just thrilled to have won the Le Mans 24 Hours. And if he thought it meant a lot to people before he got into this, now surely he realizes that it means a huge amount, perhaps more than he could even have thought. Does it rank up there with his 2 Formula 1 World Championships? Do you know what, right now, I wouldn't mind betting it absolutely does. It's been a long, rocky and enormously emotional road for Toyota. But finally, they have conquered Le Mans. 2 cars entered, 2 cars finished, first and second. Congratulations to Toyota, the winners of the 2018 Le Mans 24 Hours.
Good job. Defense is off, you know, yeah?